Why shouldn't I quit? Understanding and Addressing the Challenges of Being a Pastor by Melak Ale and Alaotse Chabasiani. Melak Ale, who holds a doctoral degree, is director for the Master of Arts in Biblical and Theological Studies program at the Adventist University of Africa, Nairobi, Kenya. Alaotse Chabasiani, who holds a doctoral degree, is head of the Applied Theology and Missions Department at Adventist University of Africa, Nairobi, Kenya. Pastors play a crucial role in spreading the gospel. However, despite their commitment, dedication, prayer, and efforts, they face numerous challenges. Such challenges include pastoral, financial, member-related, leadership, organizational, and numerous external issues. The severity and nature of such problems vary across regions and divisions. Not addressing them may lead many pastors to consider leaving the ministry, which could have adverse consequences on the church. If many pastors quit the ministry, those who remain will find themselves negatively impacted by the increased burden of the workload, as the harvest remains huge, but with fewer laborers, potentially leading to burnout. This study investigated the challenges that Adventist pastors worldwide reported in the Global Adventist Pastor Survey, GAPS. A synthesis of their feedback appears under the 5 categories presented in Table 1. We will explain how each one affects pastors and their churches. Finally, we will offer practical solutions to address such issues and offer proposals on how to support pastors in their crucial roles. Figure 1 illustrates the top 5 challenges faced by Adventist clergy across different divisions. Pastors from 5 divisions have reported experiencing all 5 challenges, while 6 divisions and 1 union have indicated encountering 4 of the 5 challenges. Understanding the pastor's challenges. Financial challenges. The first category of pastoral challenges is financial, referring to the church's and ministers' economic instability and limited resources to fulfill the church's mission. Although acknowledged by several divisions, 78.6%, the impact of insufficient financial resources varies across the regions. NAD faces challenges with church maintenance and renovation costs, while ECD struggles with perceived inadequate wages and a lack of pastoral materials and facilities, for example, transportation for large districts. Financial limitations affect churches in meeting yearly goals, SID, and restrict budgets for extensive work travel, SUD. COVID-19's impact on members' finances is cited as a cause of the financial crisis in NSD. Member-related challenges. The member-related category encompasses issues arising from the behavior and attitudes of church members. The most prevalent challenges across divisions were spiritual apathy, 78.6%, conflict among members and disunity, 85.7%, and low involvement in the church's mission, 100%, with causal relationships between the various factors. Pastors in several divisions, NAD, SAD, ESD, IAD, highlighted COVID-19's impact on distancing members from the church. Other challenges included new member retention and apostasy, SUD, ECD, WAD, UUC, SPD, SID, insufficient cooperation with pastors, WAD, SID, SPD, SAD, opposition to female commissioned pastors and women elders, NAD, TED, SPD, false teachings, ECD, EUD, WAD, youth leaving the church, EUD-TED, unfaithfulness in returning tithe, IAD-SID, and emigration, ESD-UUC. Table 1. Summary of challenges reported by pastors worldwide. Financial issues. Lack of funds, small wages, and decreasing tithes. Financial struggles due to COVID-19. High costs for maintenance and limited ministry budget. Member-related challenges. Low involvement, passivity, and coldness. Lack of commitment, unfaithfulness in tithing, and questionable characters. Opposition to female pastors, conflicts, and disregard for ministers. Unwilling leaders, lack of discipleship, and backsliding. Leadership and organizational issues. Leaders unaware of pastor struggles and neglect of Bible study. Inadequate tools, irresponsible members, and poor church board management. Difficulty organizing activities and lack of local leadership. Slack church officers and poor management. External factors. COVID-19 impact, restrictions on evangelism, and secular influences. Social and political crises, pressure from Muslim society, and anti-Christian policies. War, mobility problems, and language barriers. Personal ministerial challenges. Ministry overload and managing too many churches. Long-distance travel and language barriers. Mental and emotional struggles, health issues, and security concerns. Verbal abuse, harassment, and separation from family. Some reported challenges are unique to specific divisions. Church members contesting political positions, ECD. Secularism in the church, NSD. Working with gay or lesbian people, SAD. And church members with no or low educational attainment, SUD. As members are fundamental, such issues will adversely impact the church's mission. Pastors serving as shepherds face a significant task when working with members who experience these challenges. Leadership and organizational issues. Pastors have reported challenges related to church structure and leadership, both within local congregations and at higher levels. Some encountered a shortage of leaders to share responsibility, ESD, SAD, leaders unwilling to serve, IAD, or inattentive church officers, SPD. Church elders challenging or refusing to cooperate with pastors, SID, SPD, can intensify the difficulties. Such individuals demonstrate a lack of vision and a potential failure to exemplify scriptural principles. Pastors have also expressed difficulties in organizing church activities, EUD, and managing board meetings effectively, NAD. They highlighted challenges from higher church leadership, including leaders failing to comprehend the pastor's perspectives, ECD. Some perceived the Adventist Church as inflexible, with its theological conservatism affecting their ministry, EUD. Such leadership challenges directly affect church operations. However, leaders at various levels can achieve their objectives by mobilizing members for greater engagement. Pastoral challenges. This category encompasses the difficulties that directly impact pastors. The most prevalent issue was heavy workload, 71.4%. Some encounter it while simultaneously studying and working, ECD, while others perceive excessive responsibilities, ESD, TED, SID, or too high baptismal goals, IAD. Pastors also express concerns about false accusations of embezzlement and a lack of appreciation affecting their ministries. Consequently, they reported a lack of physical rest, limited time for personal devotion and family, and health deterioration. Some pastors face emotional and mental challenges, SAD. Others report that female pastors encounter sexual harassment and lack physical safety in their churches, NAD. As pastors meet their own challenges while serving their churches, their negative experiences may have a cascading effect on the effectiveness of the ministry. Churches may suffer because of their pastors' difficulties. As the adage suggests, quote, hurt people, end quote. Therefore, addressing the issues faced by pastors is crucial to ensuring the overall health of the church. External factors. Several issues originate outside the church itself. Most divisions reported the COVID-19 pandemic as a significant challenge they recently faced and continue to address in its aftermath. Some divisions experience restrictions on religious freedom and evangelism, SUD, ESD, whereas others encountered disinterest in religion due to secularism, NAD. Pastors from certain regions have reported social and political crises leading to insecurity, instability, and conflict, WAD, UUC. Some pastors face language and cultural barriers, SSD. Although pastors may not have control over such external factors, their impact on the church's ministry should be carefully considered. Addressing the pastor's challenges. Addressing the global challenges faced by Seventh-day Adventist pastors requires a multifaceted approach. While gaining a deeper understanding of such issues is crucial, it is equally important to take concrete action. Hence, the church can consider the following practical suggestions. Implement transparent financial practices and diversify income sources. Churches must establish transparent financial practices to curb failing fiscal management and develop plans for sustainability. Additionally, the church should emphasize encouraging its members to achieve financial freedom so they can support its mission. Also, we should note that overdependence on traditional sources of tithes and offerings has proven unviable as member giving declines. Consequently, pastors need training to revive church members, and leaders must consider how to revive pastors. Furthermore, the church must diversify its financial sources by investing in financial institutions, trust funds, agriculture, and other income-generating activities. That requires financial management training for church leaders to enhance efficiency and accountability. Moreover, the infrastructure of the Adventist Church can sometimes be too extensive or extravagant, necessitating streamlining and merging so as to release funds for the gospel commission. Focus on discipleship to address low membership involvement and foster active engagement in mission. Spiritual apathy, disunity, and minimal involvement in mission indicate a lack of discipleship. On the other hand, healthy disciples continually grow in worship, fellowship, and witnessing, with the ultimate goal of being transformed into Jesus Christ's likeness. The solution lies in establishing the biblical mandate to make disciples as the central focus of the church's life and mission. Focusing on programs that encourage member involvement, spiritual growth, discipline, and accountability might help stem the lethargy widely perceived in Adventist church members globally. Their limited participation in church activities and ministries needs to be addressed, which in many cases results from their over-reliance on pastoral leadership for church functions. However, it could also be due to spiritual apathy in the church, which could be met by sustained spiritual revival programs targeting both pastors and members. Furthermore, pastors must clearly articulate a vision that ensures that all church ministries are aligned to create an environment in which members can grow as disciples and, in turn, make more disciples of Jesus. The quality and number of disciple makers should count more than the number of newly baptized members. Focusing solely on baptismal statistics will not produce lasting or abundant fruit. Instead, the following actionable steps can help emphasize the importance of a true disciple-making approach based on the Jesus model. 1. Developing an active discipleship plan that fosters growth in worship, fellowship, and witness, which should be central to the church's mission and activities. 2. Deploying members based on their spiritual gifts, as this will add quality and efficiency in their service to God. 3. Depending on God's power and mission through the empowerment of the Holy Spirit. 4. Providing a conducive and inclusive decision-making environment that fosters a sense of ownership and accountability. And 5. Celebrating members' contributions in appreciation events to boost their morale and encourage even fuller participation. Provide training and resources for church leaders to enhance their management, communication, and conflict resolution abilities. Leadership is a critical area requiring continuous development. While the global church offers leadership training at a higher level, it should also extend such programs to local church pastors and lay leaders. In turn, pastors are also expected to pass on such knowledge to their church members. Prioritize the mental and emotional well-being of pastors by offering support systems, counseling, and resources for stress management. Although sacrificial services are expected in the gospel ministry, pastors' needs should not be disregarded. Additional measures are required to improve their welfare. Pastors can be productive only when they feel appreciated and empowered, and thus believe in their calling and willingly commit to God. Encourage local churches to be more adaptable, respond effectively to new challenges, and be receptive to change. While it is essential to remain anchored in the timeless truths of Scripture, implementing the mission of the church requires making the message relevant to the constantly changing environment in which we live. Ellen G. White encourages this in the following words, quote, "New methods must be introduced. God's people must awake to the necessities of the time in which they are living." End quote. Many of the pastor's burdens will be alleviated if church members' unwarranted resistance to change can be mitigated. Establishing pastoral support. To move forward effectively, the church needs to consider the following practical suggestions. 1. Implement sustainable financial practices, including diversifying income sources and providing financial management training for church leaders. 2. Prioritize discipleship and member engagement through active discipleship plans, spiritual gift-based deployment, and recognition of members' contributions. 3. Invest in leadership development at all levels, particularly for local church pastors and lay leaders, focusing on management skills, communication, and conflict resolution. 4. Establish robust support systems for pastors' mental and emotional well-being, including counseling and stress management resources. Addressing the challenges faced by Adventist pastors requires a comprehensive and collaborative approach surely worthy of great investment and profound commitment. For bibliographical and biblical references on this article, and for much more content for pastors and church leaders, please visit ministrymagazine.org.